I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, y'all should be able to see it. It should be in focus. We're gonna try to let a couple more people get in here. All right, guys. As y'all can tell, I'm definitely sitting in a race car shop. As y'all can tell, we got Joe Noojin's car behind us. This is his son Trent. As y'all can see right here, I don't know if y'all can actually see it or not. I can't see it because of the comments, because they're so high up, but or the views and all that stuff. Anyway, here's our logo right here. If y'all can't see it, I'll get a close up here before we get off here. This is one of the cars that we're sponsoring this year. We've got another one that we're gonna sponsor, but we hadn't had a chance to get the measurements and stuff to get the sticker made and all. You know, it's just a work in progress. Luckily, they actually run. Joe runs the sportsman division down at Talladega. Me and Trent were actually talking earlier, and the way all of it works is really actually kind of confusing if you think about it. But the way it works with motor combinations and weight combinations and all this stuff, he can actually run super late model if he chose to, depending on, I guess, really depending on what track stuff like that. Is that right? I mean,
yeah.
depending on where it's at.
Different rules.
But luckily, him and the other guy were supposed to have the same size spoiler, so we went ahead and measured and got that out of the way. So now I can get the sticker made, and we should be getting on the other car here pretty soon. If anybody's got any questions or comments, please let me know. Shoot them down, and we'll try to get on there, try to get with them. I know Trent's got a couple things he wants to say too, but first I want to let y'all know, hats. I know I've mentioned this the other day. Hats we will be getting hats here in about the next 2 weeks, somewhere right there. Right now we're waiting on them to digitize the logo, get it stitched, all that stuff. They are going to be these hats right here. I mean, not this one because this is a TH Marine hat, but it is going to be a Richardson. It's actually a 112P is the style. So I told y'all the other day, if y'all want to, if it's something y'all are interested in, get on Richardson's website, click on the 112P hat. Any color combination, any if you want the camouflage, if you want something different than what we're going to offer, shoot me a message, shoot the page a message, and let us know. We'll go ahead and order that hat, and I'm not gonna lie, it may cost a little more. I mean, this hat may be $2 or $3 more than a regular hat. I don't know because I haven't really looked at the prices.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. And if you want something special, it's gonna cost you a little bit more too, because we can't control that part of it. The hats are gonna be $20 a piece, which I don't feel like is an outrageous price for a hat. So we're gonna have 2 different logos to begin with on the hats. We'll have this logo right here on the front of my shirt. That'll be on one of them, and then we'll have the big antler logo on the other one. And on the antler logo, and it is going to have Southern Addiction Outdoors underneath it. So be looking forward to those coming out. I feel like once we get hats out, I feel like it's going to be definitely going to be a lot better for us because I mean, where we live in Alabama, where me and Trent went to school with Sardis, everybody has a hat on. I mean, you don't see people without a hat on. Like, it doesn't happen. So I think around here, especially once our hats get selling, I think that's going to kind of help out a lot. But like I said, we're here at Joe Noojin's shop for y'all that are just joining us. Robert, I can't see. Yeah. Shout out to Robert on his finish the other day on the BFL. No, we're good. I may look at it every now and then. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We're kind of far away from the phone, and it's hard to see because I wish Instagram would do something about, like, if they would do the writing in another color besides white, it would really help because, like, all of it just blends together. But yeah, like I said, I know we've kind of talked about the Bassmaster Classic. Trent didn't get to go with us to that. Trent is on our pro staff, and Trent does fish a lot of tournaments and stuff like that. But me and him have been talking, and if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna try to hook up and go to. I know my wife will be with me. I know Jordan's gonna be there. I think Blaine's gonna be there. but we're talking about going to the MLF, the Major League Fishing stop in Coleman, Lewis Smith Lake. We're talking about, you know, all of us going up there and staying in a hotel together. And so if that happens, I'm telling y'all there will be some good footage taken. I promise y'all. Just the road trip up there, the staying up there, just all that. It's gonna be a fun deal. All of us being together and stuff, and my little brother will be with us doing all the video and all the editing and all that stuff. So because right now he's the one handling all the video, and it's just easier to have somebody else handle it, honestly, because I've got so much going on with the shirts and the hats and the you know, not only that, not only stuff like that, I also have my own stuff that I do, you know, as far as my fishing and my companies that I represent and stuff like that. So just gonna kind of give a rundown of who I actually am with. I'm not with Favorite Rods. I'm not on their pro staff, nothing by that, but I support them because I believe in their product. Swagger Tungsten, Quantum Reels, Core 7 LED, Billion Baits, Gambler Lures, Viking Eyewear. I think that's all. I don't even know. I think that's all. If I left one, I'm sorry. And I know Trent was wanting to talk about one of his bigger pro staff positions that actually, I know a lot of people don't think it's a big deal because of where we live and you know, their main operations in Gunnersville. But I mean, you know, you look at the people that are using these rods now, and I will say personally, they've come a long way from when they first started.
Sure.
But you know, they got. I mean, you look at Jacob Wheeler. You know, I mean, he finished second Bassmaster Classic. Yeah, and
second day.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, he's throwing ducket rods. So I mean, you know, that was kind of one thing that.
Do a pink Southern Dixon outdoor shirt. Breast cancer one.
Robert, I really hate to spoil this, but I'm going to anyway. Since you're gonna call me out on it, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. You know, me and you talked about us. We're gonna send you some shirts for you to wear on stage. You know, stuff like that, pre-meeting stuff like that. We've actually decided that on your shirt is gonna have a breast cancer ribbon up under, either up under the antlers or at the top of the antlers, or Whitney has even talked about trying to figure out a way to design one that actually runs through the hooks. We haven't decided yet, but yes, there is going to be a breast cancer awareness Southern Addiction Outdoor shirt that will be being released. Another thing that you will see, Trent and Joe will be getting, Trent, Joe, the other guy we're sponsoring is Bradbury, Brad, Dallas, and my dad, I know, and Chris, and whoever else they have that helps them. We'll be getting, they're also getting a special design shirt. Trent and them's is gonna be black with, well, the new one's gonna be black and it's gonna have the red logo. Our logo's on the front. Or we decided we may actually do a gray logo because they do actually have some hints of like a dark kind of white. So we may do a gray logo, but on the back under our antler logo, it's gonna have a big 21. And then on Brad's, of course, it'll have a 27. So we're going. That's something we're working on. That was going to be a surprise, but since Robert's going to call me out, we're just going to go ahead and tell y'all anyway. But that's going to be something that they can wear at the track. You know, and kind of stand out from everybody else. And another thing, if y'all are, I know Friday Spring Nationals at Talladega. I know y'all, they're still kind of in limbo right now because I don't really think Talladega ever answered him about if they're running Sportsman or not, so they don't really know what they're doing. As far as I know, Brad's going to be down there. If you see any of them guys, if y'all go down there, if you see them in the pits, if you see them in the grandstands, you know, holler at them. I mean, I promise these guys will talk to you. I guarantee it. You know, so like I said, be looking for that.
Didn't mean to call you
out. No, you're good, Robert. But like I said, Joe went and ran. They had some issues this weekend. I didn't find out about it till Saturday. I actually texted Trent and I was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He was like, "Well, we're sitting at the house," and I was like, "All right then, well, you know." And then he went into the story. They had some issues getting to the racetrack. If you want to, you can kind of explain what it was. It was a fiasco.
Yeah,
it was.
Needless to say, yeah. It's just a wheel bearing went out on the trailer, and ain't no sense tearing up other stuff getting there. So figured we'd play it smart and come back to the house because we hadn't tore the car.
So they came back to the house. Now the first weekend, Joe actually ran second, which was the first. It was on a Sunday. They went down and practiced on a Saturday, and to my knowledge, Saturday was the first time he's been in his car.
And that was it.
I mean, this is a new car to them. That it's a different chassis manufacturer. I mean, it's they're kind of in the same boat that our other guys in. Just being honest with you, both of them are in brand new cars this year. That they've never worked on this car. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. I was talking to my dad about it, and going from, it's not like in vehicles we drive where you go from a Chevrolet to a Ford. There's so much more that goes into these cars, and every manufacturer has different odds and ends that you can do to make the car faster, make it looser, make it tighter. So they're having to learn that, just like Brad and them are. But he finished second the first weekend. Brad went down. Brad did not make it the first weekend. Brad went down this weekend. I want to say he finished third in the heat race, if I'm not mistaken. Third, fourth, somewhere in that area. Found out in the heat race his shifter had broke. He drove the entire race in one hand, holding the car in high gear. For those of y'all that don't know, these cars don't have. It's not. I don't care what you see in the movies. There's not a 4-speed in these cars. I don't care what you see in the movies. I ain't trying to call nobody out. I'm just saying they're not riding around this track banging gears in these cars. Now the hot shots, yeah, pony cars, yeah, but the late model cars, no. There's a high and a low. That's all they got. So like I said, he had to hold it in high the whole time. Come out in the feature, was actually running pretty well. He did have some traffic that wasn't really helping him at all. But he come out of turn 2 and the car shut off, and that's where they stand right now. There's some electrical issues, so they're gonna get that worked out. Hopefully they'll be down there Friday. Hopefully Trent will be down there Friday. And hopefully you'll get to see some good racing this Friday night if y'all decide to go down. But like I said, if y'all see them at the racetrack, don't hesitate to talk to them. Like I said, if y'all got any questions or anything like that, don't be afraid to ask. Trade day, and I'm being dead serious. Collinsville Trade Day, we will, as soon as we get our hats in stock and we get our shirts caught back up to where we feel they need to be, we will be at Collinsville Trade Day. We will have a booth set up at Collinsville Trade Day on Saturday morning. I do know that we're going to try to get, like 1 week we may have this pro staffer up there kind of just, hanging out and meeting people, and stuff like that. And I know for people like Trent and stuff like that, it's going to be hard for him to get up on Saturday morning and go do the trade day thing till lunch and then come back and then be at the racetrack all night. I understand that stuff. But Trent's a young guy too, so he don't need no sleep. But anyway, I'm gonna let Trent tell him a little bit about himself, tell y'all a little bit about what they fish, because I know y'all fish one of the tournament trails, don't you?
No, not yet. That's what we're working on.
Y'all fished the Bill Lewis.
Bill Lewis was our previous one.
Was the most recent one y'all fished?
Yeah, that's it.
And they did, they did decent.
It's just hard.
In my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion, y'all don't hold it against me, but for that Bill Lewis tournament, the time of year they have it is not the time of year they need to have it. That's just my opinion. And the reason I say that is because that's all you can use is their products. And don't get me wrong, you can go to Gunnersville and catch fish on a trap year round. But the time of year they have it, there's really not a lot of grass. Most of the grass is still died off. And to me, either fall time or summertime, sometime when you've got grass in the water would be the greatest time to have that kind of tournament. That MR, what is that new one they got? MR6.
MR6.
And then they've got the Echo, the 1.75, which I love throwing. They've got the stutter step, which the time of year that they have their tournament, there's not really a topwater bite. So, you might as well not even bring that. It's definitely, to me, it doesn't make any sense the time of year they have it. That's just my opinion.
You're really limited to what you can throw as far as what Bill Lewis offers. And they got good baits, but it's one thing that would kill me is I can't throw any soft plastic or jig, So
So that kind of, because I don't think they have any.
Mm-mm.
They don't. I mean, it's all hard baits. I mean, it's all, you know what I mean.
It's all
And
crankbait, rattle trap.
and that is not my style of fit. Now I'll throw a trap in a heartbeat, but as far as just going out there throwing a crankbait all day, I don't care nothing about it. You know, I mean, different strokes for different folks, I guess you would say.
No, the biggest thing was water temperature on. So it was on Sunday, so the water temperature on Saturday was 56 degrees, and it dropped from 56 to 44. The cold front come in, so fish went from here.
Yeah. Them fish didn't want nothing to eat. I guarantee they was just trying to stay warm. They didn't care nothing about it.
That's it.
Robert, Yeah, Robert, I'm trying to get that in the works. We're gonna try to be at Eufaula for your tournament at Eufaula, the BFL up there. We're gonna try to make our way up there and try to do a meet and greet with you and stuff. But definitely, and another thing that I'm gonna have to get with Trent and then get with you and kind of get back and forth. I don't know how much Trent's fished Eufaula.
Never been there.
But from what I've understood, it's pretty much the same style as Gunnersville. And the time you're going, like we were talking about the other day, they're fishing in June. So there's gonna be a lot of ledge fishing, I would imagine, and stuff like that. And I'm not the guy to talk to about that, but he is, because they fish deep a lot in the summertime. I don't. I can't stand it. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you give me a jig and just let me flip. That's all I care about. I may not catch one fish all day, but I don't care. I just can't. I've never been good at sitting out deep and just dragging worms and stuff like that. It's just not something I enjoy. Or throwing a big crankbait. I can't. My arm gets too tired. I can't deal with it. And people will tell you, get you a crankbait rod. Get you a crank. I've got 3 crankbait rods. I don't care what rod you have. It is gonna wear you out. If you're throwing a 10XD or something like that all day, it's gonna. I don't care what rod, what reel, what line. I don't care. I mean, you're forcing a bait to depths of 20, 25 foot all day, and you're pulling it through the water column, forcing that water against. It's gonna wear you out. There's no way it's not going to.
I don't care what kind of gear you got.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's gonna wear you out. You can have a top of the line rod, top of the line reel. It's gonna wear you out. One thing that I was talking to Robert about on the ledge fishing, which I don't, like I said, I don't do it, but I do know the couple times that we have fished in 20 to 30 foot of water. I've thrown either a football jig, or I'll throw a big. It's like the biffle head, the heart, the swinging head. I throw a ½ ounce or 3/4 ounce one of them with a big bull worm or something like that. That's what I like throwing. Like I said, I'm just not real big on crankbaits. I've never have been. I don't know why. I mean, I know they catch fish, and it's now if we're out fishing and we first get in the water, don't get me wrong, I will be throwing a crankbait or a spinnerbait or a chatterbait or something that moves until we find fish. Now, once we find fish, then we slow down and kind of start flipping and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is finding fish when you first start out. And I actually think Trent went fishing earlier to a little pond he went to.
Yep.
We went yesterday, and of course, we got out to the first place. We went 3 different places. We got out to the first place we went, and I realized I didn't have any of my GoPros with me, so that wasn't a real good time. Then the last place we went to, we got there. I can't tell y'all where it's at, but we got there about 5:15, I guess. Fished till about 7, and it was me, my buddy Adam, and then my wife was with us. And we caught over in 2 hours. We caught over we was right at 50 fish that we caught. There wasn't none of them over 2 pounds, but I mean, it was just fun being out there catching fish. We had my little girl with us. Well, we had both little girls with us. The oldest one, Riley, she enjoyed it because I was letting her reel in some fish and stuff like that, And like I said, that's one thing that y'all are gonna learn about us is that we're real family oriented. I mean, it's I know Trent and them have a real tight knit family. We're the same way. Anytime you see a video, most of the time, if I'm fishing or something, either my wife's with me, my kids are with me, I've got friends with me, stuff like that. So like I said, we just wanted to go live and kind of get Trent involved. Like I said, he's on the pro staff, and we hope to hear some good things from him. Like he said, they hadn't really decided what tournament trail they're gonna fish yet.
I know we got the Home Builders Association April 5th. Don't really know if we're gonna do the Honda tournament. It's the next day. It's at,
and it's on Neely.
It's at Neely.
Yeah, it's April 6th on Neely.
And then we got supposed to register sometime this week for the Food Land.
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah, the Food Land.
Chris Lane.
Yeah, I just seen where they opened registration to it. I think this week.
And they only got 100 spots left on it. So.
Yeah, and then you want to talk about if anybody's around Gunnersville when they have that tournament, you need to go to weigh-ins for that tournament because that's a very big yeah, it's a big tournament.
Chris Lane does a good job.
Yeah,
that's a really good tournament. If you want to fish that tournament.
And there's usually some big fish caught that time of year. Usually, I mean it's usually some big fish. I can't see this thing. Hang on, we gotta get closer. I got you. I'll keep that in mind. SAO needs to come to Georgia. What about fishing ABA or ABT? He's talking to you about the ABA or ABT.
What is it?
The ABA or the ABT.
Yeah, I'd love to. Just the time, my work schedule. I work at Honda, so I'm on a swing shift. It's really hard to get off for the ABA or the ABT, but that's the goal one day to be able to do that.
The biggest problem, to me, the biggest problem, because me and my uncle, when I was still at Goodyear, me and my uncle tried to fish. We both worked at Goodyear, and we were on night shift, and we tried to fish the Fishers of Men tournament trail, which is a great tournament trail. They run an absolutely fabulous tournament trail. To be as small as they are, I mean, they have a stage they pull in. It's got the leaderboard up there. They interview you on stage. It's really nice. The problem we had though is with us working night shift. When you're fishing a trail like that, it's a point system. So, there was like 3 tournaments that year that we had to work that weekend. So, I mean, it's hard to, like he was saying, it's hard to get off, and then if you don't, I know the ABT does, but the Fishers of Men, they had a pre-tournament meeting. It was on Friday nights. Well, okay, that put me and my uncle having to take off Friday night and Saturday night just to be able to fish, so you're losing 24 hours of vacation just to fish one tournament. I mean, it didn't pay off for us, it didn't make sense for us to do that. Yeah, Rob, it's the same with the BFL, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's I'm hoping next year to fish the BFL as a co-angler. That's my goal. Just to kind of see. I just want to experience it and kind of see where I'm at as far as a fisherman. I mean, because that's really gonna let you know.
Real quick.
Or the ABA. The ABA has a co-angler series. That I'm kind of interested in. The biggest thing that bothers me about the co-angler deal, and a lot of people tell me it's not that big of a deal, but my luck that I have, I would get with that one boater that absolutely hates co-anglers and think they shouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be my luck. And then I would get backboated the entire time, and I wouldn't ever get to cast at anything. And that would be my luck. But like I said, I mean, it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to doing next year. And I know Robert's moving up from BFL next year to either I think we were talking about he's either going to fish the Costa Series or something like that next year as a boater, if I'm not mistaken. We hope, and we will definitely be beside him, sponsoring him and helping him out next year. And the MLF deal, I don't know. I don't think Robert's found out yet or not, but Robert may be at the Favorite Rods booth for that expo. I don't know if he's found out yet or not. But if he is, y'all make sure to stop and see him. I'm sure Sky will be there, Skylar Hamilton. I'm sure he'll be there. He was at the East Tennessee Fishing Expo and the Bassmaster Classic. Both of those expos, he was at the Favorite booth. But like I said, it one thing, honestly, and I know next year is a long time away, but the Bassmaster Classic next year is their 50th anniversary. They haven't released where they're having it at. My honest opinion is going to be in Alabama, and the reason I say that is because, Bass was started in Alabama. The headquarters are in Birmingham. I mean, I just see it coming to Alabama, and if it does, I'm telling y'all, make the trip. I'm telling y'all, that was the most, going to weigh-ins, especially because we went on the final day, and going to weigh-ins and just seeing the emotion and seeing how much goes into it, and also seeing how many people were there. Like, it was crazy to me. Like, I did not think we went. It was the biggest Bassmaster Classic in history. There was 154,000 there. You think about it, that's a lot of people. I mean, that's Talladega race weekend, NASCAR weekend people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was pretty cool. I'll be there at the Classic as well this year. So yeah, they hadn't released where it's at yet, but I'm speculating it's going to be in Alabama, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was on Logan Martin, because there was a couple years there in a row that they had it on Logan Martin like 2 or 3 years in a row, like just bam, bam, bam. And Logan Martin, to me, honestly, Logan Martin is one of the lakes around us that is really underrated, and the reason I say that is because it does not get the pressure. Gunnersville gets beat to death. I'm not even joking.
From now
There's a tournament on Gunnersville nearly every day. Honestly, if you look at the Wildcat tournaments and the afternoon tournaments and all that stuff, there's a tournament on Gunnersville nearly every day coming out of some round. And then you get on Saturdays and there may be 3 or 4 tournaments going on. You may have 500 boats on the water. You know, Neely Henry's the same way. You know, I mean, there's a tournament out there every Saturday from now until the end of the year. I guarantee you. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, which is good for the sport, but at the same time, like it hurts. It kind of sucks for us, you know, because if me and Trent wanted to go fun fish, well now we've got to deal with 500 other people that are fishing for money, and they don't like it when you pull up on their spot and they're fishing for money. I promise you.
No.
But like I said, you know, I do know not this Sunday, but next Sunday we're planning another trip to DeKalb County. I don't know if y'all follow them on Facebook. If you don't, you need to be checking them out. It's a state-funded lake, and I know this week alone there's been 1.7 and like 3 or 4 6s caught out of there this week. So we're gonna try to get up there here in about 2 weeks. I don't personally, and this is just my opinion again, I don't feel like there should be tournaments during the spawn. That's my opinion. I understand the fish, you can catch a personal best in a heartbeat during the spawn. I get that. But you take these males and these females off that bed and you drive 30 miles down the river to weigh them in, and then they release them, the likelihood of them going back to that bed is slim to none. And then all those offspring they just laid are done. You know what I mean? They can't survive. There's no way. So that's one thing that I think needs to be looked at, in my opinion, in professional bass fishermen. Professional bass fishing is, I think they need to hold off during the spawn. And I mean, everybody knows the spawn's a month or 2. Just take that month or 2 off. You know what I mean? It's not going to kill everybody. You know, but like I said, I feel like that's a problem. You know, even pond fishing, like here in the next week, to you know, from now really till, let's see, probably April, maybe May, you're gonna see us slow down fishing a lot, because I don't like fishing during that time period. That's just that, like I said, that's my opinion. But a lot of times, you know, even pond fishing, you can walk down the bank and you see a fish. Well, if you flip in there and get it to bite, you may let it go right back there at the same place. But now it's got all that stress on it, all that shock on it. You know, it may just go away. You know, it may not come back to that bed, and then you've ruined. You know, especially if it's your pond. If it's your pond, you really just screwed up, because now you're losing bass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that's just my opinion. I know everybody's got their own. If I lost connection, it's storming bad here. Yeah, I'll text you later. Yeah, I thought we were supposed to get some bad storms today, but it rained a little bit earlier and thundered and lightning, but
the sun come out.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when I left the house, like I talked to him earlier and it was raining, and then when I got ready to leave the house, the sun was out and it was like 80 degrees again. So I don't know.
That's why I went fishing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they just missed the forecast or what.
Alabama weather for you.
Yeah, but I will tell y'all one thing that we've been missing in Alabama is we need some steady warmth. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And the storms are not helping either. You know, these fish that get pre-front and then they get post-front in the same day. Like, I mean, that just, it screws everything. Even pond fish, I mean, it screws everything up. And for those of y'all that don't know, we have a lot of tornadoes in Alabama during the spring and the fall for some reason. But this year, like, we haven't even, I don't even know if you consider it officially springtime yet in Alabama. And was it last Thursday, I think, is when it officially... Okay, and we've already had 39 tornadoes this year that have actually touched down and been categorized as tornadoes. We've already had 39 this year, and we just now got into spring.
We ain't even in tornado season.
Yeah, we're not even in official tornado season yet. So, I mean, it's it's crazy. The weather's definitely not been helping the fishing. I promise. Straight flooding. What's up, Morgan? But like I said, my buddy Blaine, they went out on Gunnersville Saturday and wore them slap out. He said they went back out there Sunday, didn't catch a fish. He said, the wind was blowing so much, everywhere was white capped. So I mean, but especially Gunnersville, man. Gunnersville's so, to me, it's so finicky.
It's hit and miss.
I mean, you can go out there. Honestly, you can go out there in the morning time and catch 50 fish, go home, eat lunch, and come back and not get a bite. Like, I mean, that's part of it, and especially Gunnersville, because like Neely Henry's is it's a river system, and I understand Gunnersville's a river system also, but Neely Henry's so narrow. It's narrow, it's long, it's snaky, so those fish don't really have the area that they can travel as they do in Gunnersville. I mean, Gunnersville's so wide open. And anytime the wind blows in Gunnersville, it's like I said, it's so wide open. There's nothing to break that wind up. Like on Neely Henry, you got where there's banks, it's nothing but just massive trees, and there's no houses, there's no stuff like that. And you get out here on Gunnersville, and
fish in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I would love to live on Gunnersville Lake, but all these people that are building houses and tearing down these trees and all this stuff, it's just opening up more area for that wind to come in. We've been talking about getting a little 10 rig, something just kind of mess around in, and I can guarantee you it will not be on Gunnersville. I can promise you. I've been out in Gunnersville. Me and my buddy Christian went out, and he had an 18-foot Triton, or 18.6, 19. I don't even remember how long it was, but and we got out there under the big bridge, and it got to the point where he was running like 6 miles an hour because he couldn't go any faster because the boat was literally coming up out of the water. So I mean, I can imagine you put a little 10 rig out there, that would be a sight to see. I can almost imagine, especially as loaded down as ours is going to be. I can promise you, but with cameras and tackle and rods and people and everything else. The biggest reason we're getting it is because we want to do a lot of creek fishing up in Big Wheels Creek. There's actually a couple of creeks that run into Gunnersville that we want to fish. Chockalaka Creek down there towards Oxford, we've talked about fishing it. So it'll be something that we can just throw in a creek or throw in a pond, something that we can just get around in. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun. And like I said, we hadn't decided yet, but when we go to the cab, I don't know if we hadn't decided if Trent's going yet, or he hadn't decided if he's going yet or not. If he doesn't go, we may be in his boat. If he does go, we may be in his boat. We hadn't really decided yet. But I'm gonna tell y'all, if we do take Trent's boat, I promise it's gonna be a lot better footage, because y'all have no idea how hard it is to run that hand control trolling motor on the back of the boat while you're trying to fish. And like I said, them boats up there, they're like 14-foot flat bottoms. So when the wind starts blowing up there, that little 30-pound thrust trolling motor, you get slammed into the wall and everything else. Yeah, Whitney's laughing. The last time I tried to let her run a trolling motor, that didn't go too well. We wound up in the side of a tree, and it just wasn't. It wasn't a good day. And if y'all don't know me, I'm terrified of spiders. And we're drifting towards this tree, and I'm in the front of the boat, and she's like, "Reach up there and grab that tree," And I went to reach and grab it, and there's like spider webs and spiders all over it, and I was like, "I'm not touching it. I'm not." We will run slap all over this tree before I touch that tree. I'm not doing it. So yeah, it was definitely a fun time. But I know we'll be going back here in a couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get some. We're actually in the process of trying to get a vlog camera. Once we get it, it'll be a lot easier to get footage because I can get a tripod and stuff, and it'll have an external microphone and all that stuff. It'll be better quality. Don't get me wrong, the GoPros are great things to have, but if you're looking for sound and quality, I mean, it's not that great. Tell Trent, let me get that hat. I don't even know where'd you get that at?
Ordered it off something. I don't even. It's been on dash my truck forever.
He ordered it offline somewhere. I don't know.
What do you get for it?
Yeah, there you go.
That's a better question.
Yeah, how much you give for it, Morgan? It is a fishing hat, but it also is a firefighter hat.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of cool. But like I said, I noticed it when I come in, but I didn't even pay. I noticed it, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. Uh, but yeah, as y'all see, we got the car sitting in the background. We were gonna do this Thursday night, and then we realized, hey, they're going racing Friday, so there's gonna be people in here doing stuff Thursday night, working on the car and stuff. I give great advice. But yeah, also, like I said, we're on this car, as y'all can see right here. If I move my knee, y'all can definitely see it. Anyway, there it is. We're on both sides of the car. The other car, we're actually going to be on the spoiler, like I mentioned earlier. So, we've got both of those going. We've been talking to, if anybody knows Micah Downs, he's amateur MMA fighter right now. He actually just went to Panama City and won his fight, and he's 3-0 right now in his division. And we've been talking to him about doing something with him, doing a little sponsorship deal with him. We hadn't committed to anything yet, but right now our main focus is, we've got both the cars, both the dirt cars and getting merchandise right now is our main focus. So as far as sponsoring goes, I mean, we'll probably kind of hold off on doing anything else, just to get, it. We were talking about it, and like y'all know, I've got 2 business partners, and we were talking about it, and don't get me wrong, the sponsoring is great. It's great advertisement and all that, but it doesn't matter how much you advertise if you don't have anything to sell. If they go run Friday night and we have 20 people that see this car and they're like, hey, we want to order some shirts, and then I have 20 people message me and we ain't got no shirts. That's a problem. It's definitely something we're having to, it's little by little, and starting a business is a lot. It's a lot of upfront costs, and which right now I think we're doing good. We haven't sold a ton of apparel, but right now our main focus is getting our name out there. My wife put an emoji and I can't see what it is. Well, she's rolling her eyes. I don't even know what she's doing. I know she better be cooking that meatloaf. God dang it. How long you gonna be live? It's supper time. I know. You better be making that meatloaf when I get home. God dang y'all kill me. I'm dropping my main one. Yeah, that's another thing. Robert, for next year when he fishes the Costa Series, we are going to be his main sponsor. We're going to be his title sponsor on his jersey. So that'll be cool. And if he does it as a boater, of course, we'll have a sticker on the boat somewhere. We may do a wrap. We hadn't really decided yet. Shut up. And we also, our company vehicle will be. We haven't decided if we're going to wrap it or not yet. I don't know if y'all know how much it costs to wrap a vehicle, but Jesus Christ. I've got prices anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. That $4,000 is a little ridiculous to me, but, whatever. And then I've had the suggestion, well, why don't y'all just get the wrap and y'all put it on? I don't think that's a good idea. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I don't know. Y'all didn't put this on, did you?
No.
That's a headache. I mean, trying to get everything lined up the right way, and honestly, on this, to me, on something like this, it wouldn't be that bad because I know y'all can't really tell, but this is flat. There's no curvature. There's no. You go to put it on a regular vehicle that's got lines and stuff like that. You talking about messing a lot of stuff up. You're not wrapping our vehicle. Robert, we would it's definitely something we would discuss. Like I said, it'd be something that we would have to discuss later on down the line. We'll see where we're at. I definitely wouldn't mind, if we're progressing the way we hope we are, wrapping your boat. Trent's got a boat that he kind of fishes out of every now and then, and that's something hopefully in the next year. If we can if everything lines up, we get our ducks in a row. I wouldn't mind doing your boat. I wouldn't mind doing Trent's boat, even though he don't fish tournaments out of his boat. It's still the fact of if he goes to Guntersville and fishes, people are gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Blaine's boat. You know, we're talking about doing Blaine's boat. You know, and that's just free advertisement. You know, I mean, I know it costs money up front, but in the long run, that's just free advertisement. Not only that, it protects your boat. That's another thing that I've thought about. You know, I mean, the clear coat and stuff like that. Which yours is aluminum, so it ain't gonna matter anyway. But we'd see with his being aluminum, we really wouldn't even have to wrap it. We could just put stickers on his. You know, I mean, with his being aluminum, you know. But like I said, if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I think we can go ahead and, unless Trent's got anything he wants to add.
I'm good.
I understand, Robert.
Duck and Guntersville tackle.
Yeah, we covered Duckett. He does a lot of business with Guntersville Tackle. That was something else he wanted to mention. If y'all haven't checked them out, make sure y'all check them out. Tackle Box in Oxford, Alabama. Tackle Trap in Boaz. Make sure y'all check them out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to go over. Sublimated shirts like the one I've got on, they're $26, I believe. Sorry I'm late, baseball practice. I got you, Blaine. Like I said, I think our sublimated shirts, that's one thing I did want to cover. Hats are $20 a piece. Short sleeves are $12. Long sleeves are $15. Hoodies are $30, and that's just a regular shirt like what I brought to you earlier. The sublimated shirts are $25. And I'm hoping to have hats done. Like I said, they're working on digitizing the logo and getting everything stitched up and all that. So hopefully I'll have them in a week or two, and then I can post them, and y'all can see what they're gonna look like. So like I said, we've got a lot of stuff coming, you know, and hopefully it all progresses. I do kind of want to. I'm gonna kind of take y'all and walk y'all around the car. I'm not gonna show y'all anything important, so y'all can steal nothing. But that right there is our logo. We thought it turned out pretty sharp. We actually liked it the way it turned out. But yeah, this is Joe Noojin's car, Barry's Barbecue. If y'all have not eaten there, I tell you to check it out. It's all you can eat buffet. But like I said, we're here in the shop. Here's the front of the car. If you haven't checked out the Sand Mountain Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch in the fall time, be sure to check that out. And I'm definitely digging the all black. Y'all know I'm a black and red fan anyway. And then when he sent me the picture of this, I was like, yeah, this is money right here. Like I said, y'all know I'm a big black and red fan. And then the coolest thing to me, honestly, is that I know y'all can't see it. He's going to cover it for us. But this has got to be one of the sickest spoilers ever. I mean, when your spoiler says crowd pleaser, I mean, come on, guys. Like, I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. And for y'all that are wondering, that is actually where our logo is going to be. On the other car we're sponsoring, it will be on the front side of the spoiler, just like that one. And then I don't really know what's on the
Core suspension.
Yeah, he's got his core suspension sticker back here, and then the 2-1 over there. And then there's their other toys over there. Of course, you can tell which one's his dad's and which one's his. His is the one with the fishing stuff on it, with the rod leaned up against it and all that. So, like I said, and if there's anybody interested,
faithful,
I'll get him to let me have some info on it one day. And if anybody's interested, that one over there is for sale. I've seen that car over there run many races, and I've seen that car win a many races. So if anybody's
last race it won
the big one, yeah, that's actually the last race it won. Actually, the Jerry Goodwin Challenge down there at Talladega, and the Larry Spurlock. Yeah, that's when they did them at the same time, man. Yeah, it was a rain out, and they did them at the same time. So like I said, that car is definitely a proven winner. So if anybody's looking for a race car, y'all definitely let me or Trent know. Like I said, that's it. Hopefully we will be hopefully we'll be tagging along to Talladega some this year. Kind of hanging out with them, going from them to Brad and stuff like that, and just kind of hanging out and trying to get to meet everybody. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, make sure to message me. If y'all want to order anything, make sure to message me or the page. And we're gonna get out of here. Blaine, I think it's gonna take more than $5 to buy the car. I'm not 100% sure. We may be able to get you a
sticker off of it.
Yeah, we
Maybe
can.
a panel.
Yeah, we can probably take that back quarter panel off, and you can have it. We may be able to do something like that. Another thing that me and Trent were talking about, which I think is gonna be pretty cool. Of course, we gotta get it approved by Joe first because it is his car. But at the end of the season, as most of y'all know, these bodies are pretty much thrown away. They rebody these cars every year, which the body looks amazing right now. Can't really say what it's gonna look like at the end of the year because you can't ever tell. Yeah, it'll be like this one, I promise. And no offense to anybody that races at Talladega, but if you go to Talladega, that's more than likely what's gonna wind up happening. Especially if you run an ice bowl, dear God. Which it is still better than Fort Payne. I will give it that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you can't.
You go to Fort Payne and you may not come home with a car. But what we're actually talking about is that panel right there, the middle panel. It's got 21 on it with a Southern Addiction Outdoors logo. At the end of the year, that will be in my tackle room. And yes, Blaine, I will get. We're gonna get Joe and Trent and everybody that helps him to sign it, and then we're gonna get all the pro staff guys to sign it, and then all the owners are gonna sign it, and we're gonna hang that up and kind of keep it. And the reason we're gonna do that is because that's actually our first. This is our first sponsorship that we've ever done, and I think it would be neat to have it. It's kind of like the hat we got. The first hat we ever made has got probably 20 or 30 autographs on it from the Bassmaster Classic. So, we're trying to get some stuff to keep, and hopefully one day when we have a big enough operation where we have an actual building and an office and stuff like that, we can hang it up for people to see. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all joining in. I think we're going to get out of here because I'm sure Trent's hungry, and then he's got to work early in the morning, and I'm pretty hungry myself, so, and I got to drive back to Gadsden, so. But like I said, I appreciate y'all joining in. Y'all be careful. Anything y'all want to know, just message us and we'll let y'all know. We're going to get out of here. See y'all.